Hello, Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. I hope you're doing well. I'm Jen with Timeline Tarot, and this is your tarot card for the week of December 14th, 2025. Keep in mind that this is a collective general reading, not individualized nor personalized to you. Messages may come through today that do not fully resonate, and if that happens, don't get upset. Just means that one message is meant for someone else watching. So take what fits, how it fits, leave what doesn't. Be sure to check out your other placements. Also keep in mind this is not what you don't see coming for the week ahead. The tarot card of the week reading is intended to help all of us move our lives forward. And if you would like to learn more about becoming a time traveler, please check the information in the description box below. With all of that said, let's begin. Tapping into the Libra collective now for Libra Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. What is the tarot card of the week for Libra for the week of December 14th, 2025? One more shuffle. Thank you. Your tarot card of the week, the Eight of Cups. What situation, environment, or connection in your life do you need to walk away from and emotionally disconnect from? The bottom of the deck, you have the Five of Cups. What painful situation, environment, or connection in your life are you focused on? And what positive aspects are you not seeing? So whether this happened a day ago, a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, lingering here in the Libra collective is some sadness that a way of life or a partnership or a job that you once had has come to an end. It just didn't work out the way you thought it would. And even for some of you, this is a pattern, something internal to you, the way you were showing up in the world. I just feel like your life has changed, like your life has drastically changed because of what has occurred here. Tell me more about why the Eight of Cups is the tarot card of the week here for the Libra collective. One more shuffle. Thank you. We have the Eight of Pentacles. We have the Two of Swords. We have the Three of Swords. And we have the Five of Pentacles. Well, here's the pain. Bottom of the deck, King of Pentacles, the Devil. Oh, the Devil and the Sun. I'm going to take this the way they were intended to come out. Okay. That leaves the Hierophant, the King of Wands, and King of Cups here at the bottom of the deck. So your energy here this week seems to be focused on something else. You're working on something here this week. It's something to do with self-mastery. I mean, it's possible for some of you, you're just very concentrated, like your energy is very concentrated and focused on work or other responsibilities. I almost get the feeling like you don't want to look at this, the Three of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. You don't want to think about it. You don't want to focus on it. It's like you're blocking it. I don't want to feel it. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to process the ending or the loss or the transformation or whatever changed here. I just want to focus on other things. And again, whether that's you're just trying to become a better version of yourself, or you're focused on other responsibilities and your pets, your plants, the people in your life, etc., etc. Tell me about the Eight of Pentacles. What is Libra working on this week? One more shuffle. Thank you. The Eight of Pentacles is clarified by the Nine of Swords, the Ten of Wands, and the Four of Pentacles. That's exactly what this is. You're trying to restabilize yourself by focusing your energy or your efforts in a different direction so you don't have to fully confront what is plaguing you here. And what is plaguing you here mentally and for some of you even emotionally is this loss, something here occurred in your life that was heartbreaking or you're considering a setback. And again, could be loss of a job, loss of a relationship. Something changed here in your life. Two of Swords, you're blocking it out. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to process it. I don't want to feel it. But you need to feel it. You need to feel it in order to heal it. I know that sounds corny, but it's true. You can't bury this. Three of Swords to the Five of Pentacles. What was this? I think what you're trying to do, the reason why the Eight of Cups is your tarot card of the week, it's not that you need to emotionally disconnect from a situation, environment, or connection in your life. I think you are emotionally disconnected from what happened here. I think you need to Eight of Cupping, not feeling your feelings. Does that make sense? Like, I think you need to walk away from not feeling this, not processing this. Because some of you are like, okay, it ended, or that's what happened, and I'm just going to work on something else now. I'm going to focus my energy on something else. And I think that's what you need to Eight of Cup, is that mentality of like, I don't even want to look at this. I don't want to process it. Three of Swords to the Five of Pentacles. Page of Wands, Queen of Wands, and the Two of Wands. Bottom of the deck, Eight of Swords. Look, you're like blindfolded here. It's like la 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 la. I don't want to see it. I don't want to think about it. Let's just move on. I'm gonna pick myself up by my bootstraps, and I'm making the decision here at the Two of Wands. Instead of sitting here ruminating on it, I'm just gonna move forward and focus on what I have to do today. You're very bold and brave to do that. Most people would hunker down, throw the cover over their heads for 3 weeks and bawl their eyes out because they lost their job, or they lost their best friend, or they lost their pet, or their loved one passed away, or their life radically changed, or some long-term partnership came to an end in their life. So I will say you're very bold and brave to go, you know what? I can't do anything about that. It is what it is. I'm just going to forge forward. I love that for you. The issue is you're not healing this. You're not confronting the pain or the loss here. You're not fully processing it. Is that the King of Swords there? No, King of Pentacles. The Devil to the Sun. If you don't confront this and ask yourself why it happened, what was the lesson, what was the reason, what lessons can you extract from it so you can fully heal and move on, I feel like it will plague you for a long time. It will become something toxic in your life. In the future, let's say this is a relationship that ended, okay? Long-term relationship ended. And let's say it was no fault of your own, okay? You showed up, you were the best partner you could be. Your person, I don't know, walked out and cheated on you, left you for someone else. Just an example, okay? If you don't really heal it and say, what was the breakdown of the partnership? Got to be honest. How did I contribute? Not blaming the victim, but how did I contribute to the breakdown of the relationship? Because the affairs usually occur after the breakdown. The affairs hardly ever actually cause the breakdown. For someone to step out, something is wrong. Now, their coping mechanism for what is wrong is not accurate, right? It's not correct. You don't just, okay, my relationship or marriage is falling apart, so I'm going to go find someone else while still staying in the marriage or relationship. Like, I'm not saying it's healthy. Again, I'm only using this as an example. But so that person was wrong for the way they coped with the breakdown. But there still needs to be an acknowledgement of the breakdown and your contribution to the breakdown. That's what you need to process. That's your lesson. I remember post-separation when I entered counseling, that's what I realized or discovered in 18 months of therapy. And we touched on lots of things, not just the marriage, which I did walk away from. But in that moment, I was looking at it like it was all his fault. It was all his fault. The marriage broke down. I did the best I could do. And through therapy and counseling, I realized I stopped doing the best I could long before the marriage broke down. Long before. And again, not entirely my fault, but I have to share in the responsibility of the breakdown. I have to look at the things I should have addressed that I didn't address, the things I suppressed, how that suppression led to me becoming resentful of him, how that resentment then rolled into me not nurturing him the way a spouse should nurture their spouse, their partner. So there were things that I was doing by suppressing, not discussing the red flags, not bringing things up, not expressing my wants, needs, and desires. It was causing a break, or at least was contributing to the break. And so now that I've learned that, now 5.5 years later, I'm in a new relationship. I show up differently in this relationship. I can express my wants, needs, my desires. I'm able to communicate when something is wrong, and I do it from a healed place. So whatever this was for you that ended, or, and I definitely feel here like something ended. So again, someone passed away, the relationship ended, you were fired from the job. Not blaming you for any of that, but there's something here about looking at what ended and saying, what was my role or what wasn't my role? But you have to be honest. You have to heal. Otherwise, you're going to enter the next relationship. Let's say it's relationship-based reading. You're going to do the same things. And that cycle, that pattern is going to repeat in the next relationship. That devil is going to come with you. Little monkey on your back there. Small enough that you can't see it. But eventually, it will rear its head in your relationship. And you'll be like, oh my God, this person is just like my ex. Maybe. They very well could be. But you're also like who you used to be in that past relationship also. Like you hadn't changed and evolved either. Again, I'm not blaming you for it. Take it from someone who's been there. But when something fails, if we're abruptly fired from work. I remember having a job when I was like 16 years old. I was working for a fabric store in the mall. They sold curtains and kitchen linens, dining room table linens, stuff like that. And there was a soap opera, national soap opera, that was very popular at the time. And I was very nostalgic about the soap opera because I grew up watching it with my grandmother. And some of the actors from the show were appearing at the mall where, the store I worked for was located within. And I wanted to go see the actors. Now, you got to remember, yes, I'm 16 years old. I get it. And my boss said, if you want to go see them, you can punch out and go see them. And I was oblivious to what she was saying to me in that moment. I punched out. I went out into the center square of the mall. I was there for about 45 minutes. I got 4 or 5 autographs, and I returned to work. And I punched back in, and it didn't work. It wouldn't accept me. And I was like, oh, maybe I got to do it manually. I had little dial buttons there, so I thought, oh, I'll just put in my employee, PIN number, and I was already terminated. I didn't realize in the moment. She said, well, if you want to go, you can just punch out and go. And I was like, oh, okay. So for a long time, granted, I was 16. For a long time, I was like, that bitch at the curtain store fired me. But she told me, I remember going home and telling my parents, but she told me just punch out and go see them. And then at some point, like 2-3 months later, I was like, was she right to fire me? Yes and no. Yes and no. My obligation was to be at that store and work the floor and engage her customers and answer their questions and direct them to products that she was trying to sell to make a living so she could pay herself and pay me. I wasn't doing my job. And so I had to look at that and go, was she right for firing me the way she did? No, she could have handled it differently. She could have explained it to me ahead of time, but she didn't. But I still have to look at my part and say I was not responsible. I was like, okay, we'll punch out and go get some autographs, be back in 30, 45 minutes like a total idiot. So whatever ended here for you, again, it's not totally blaming you for it, but if we want to grow and evolve, which is the whole point of the Tarot Card of the Week reading that I do weekly, then the Libra Collective needs to look and say, what was my contribution to this breaking down? And if I can learn that, I'm never going to leave my job again to go get an autograph like that, And if you can learn that, you'll never repeat that mistake again. If you don't learn that and it just becomes blaming the other person entirely, then yeah, the next job I go to, I'm going to do the same thing, right? Because the lesson wasn't learned. And then I would have been fired from that job. And the cycle would have just repeated until I went, wait a minute, the problem is me, right? What's that Taylor Swift song? Hi, it's me. I'm the problem. It's me. So again, not fully blaming you here, but there's something here the Libra Collective has to look at to see what was their contribution to this. And if you can see it and go, okay, and now I see what I did, or now I see what I missed, right? Now I see how I didn't speak up, or now I see how I made decisions that were not in my best interest. Whatever this is for you, if you don't see the lesson, you're doomed to repeat it. So I think you need to walk away, 8 of Cups, from not wanting to look at it. I think you need to look at it. And, what painful situation in your life are you focused on, and what positive aspects are you not seeing? What you're not seeing, and maybe this reading will help you, is I need to see this, and I need to see how I contributed to it. Because the positive aspect is, then I'm freed and healed of this toxic pattern. And I'll never repeat it again. Next time I go to invest my pentacle energy, my time or my love or my talent or my commitment, etc., I will not do it the way I did before. Because I've learned what my toxic pattern or my toxic trait was. So the Sun card to the Devil would be healing the toxicity within you, or like I said, just toxic pattern that contributed to that loss. Let's get you 3 cards of advice here. 3 cards of advice here for Libra this week. So yeah, 8, walk away from this whole, I don't want to look at it. No, you need to look at it. You need to look at it because the positive aspect of looking at it is 1, you'll heal, 2, you'll get the lessons, and 3, you'll never repeat it again. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Your advice, 3 of Pentacles, 3 of Wands, and the Strength card, bottom of the deck, 7 of Pentacles. You can do this. You can do this. This will help rebuild a different part of you. So in terms of advice here, 3 of Pentacles to the 3 of Wands to the Strength card. Allocate some time. You could do a little a day. You could do a little this week. Maybe next week you do the same thing. A little every day or a little once a week to look at this. Because the way forward is open. But the only way you won't repeat this mistake is to invest some pentacle time into looking at this. And you're strong enough. This isn't going to break you to look at this. It's not going to break you to look at it. It won't break you to look at your role in it. If anything, it will strengthen you enough that in the future, you will not repeat that. 7 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, and the 6 of Wands. Just a little bit of time investment. Again, whether that's something you want to do daily, you want to do weekly, you want to do by yourself or in a therapy or counseling session, whatever this is here for you. Just a little time every week will literally ensure that you will not repeat that again, or you won't show up that way again. And that really does change the dynamic for the Libra collective moving forward. It heals a big toxic wound. Again, that wound is different for all of you, but if you don't look at it, you won't be able to heal it. That's what I have for you, Libra. That is your tarot card for the week of December 14th, 2025. If you like that message, it resonates with you, you want to claim all or part of it, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video if you're able to do that. And be sure to check out that description box so you can learn how you can become a time traveler. Until I read for you again, I'm wishing you light, love, and peace.